Somebody has.
Yeah, and they all quit.
And he's the only one left there.
Ready?
We're good to go.
It's 5:30. We're gonna go ahead and start the meeting. Roll call of order. I guess I'll start the meeting for Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. Roll call of members, please, Matt.
General,
Here.
Anderson,
Here.
Herder,
Here.
leaders and Kai are absent tonight.
If you all had a chance to read the minutes, is there a motion to approve the minutes or make corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Moving second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carried. I'll now read our statement on how we run the meeting. Public hearing will be conducted pursuant to the board's rules of procedure adopted May 26, 1988. You will first hear the report of the planning director on detailed information and observations regarding the request, if not done so in written form prior to the hearing. Next, we will take testimony of the applicant and his or her witnesses. Upon completion of the applicant's testimony, I'll call upon members of the audience wishing to make a statement concerning the request. Persons in favor of the request shall be heard first, followed by those who oppose it. At any time during the presentation of testimony, members of the board may interrupt to ask questions or make comments on what has been said. Upon completion of all testimony, the applicant will be allowed to make a closing statement to the board. Upon completion of the applicant's closing statement, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing on the request. After the public hearing has been closed, we will then hear the recommendation, if any, of the planning director, and upon completion of all discussion, I'll entertain a motion from the members of the board regarding the disposition of the application. Each speaker addressing this board shall step forward to the podium and state their name and address before proceeding with their testimony or evidence. I would ask that you spell your last name. The board shall not be bound by strict rules of evidence, but does reserve the right to exclude evidence or testimony that may deem to be irrelevant, immaterial, incompetent, or unduly repetitious. As chairman, I will rule on all questions relating to the admissibility of evidence, which may be overruled by the majority of the board. The board may grant continuance in any case for good cause shown to any interested party who has entered his appearance. The board may at any time request a continuance of a hearing for the purpose of giving further notice, taking further evidence, gathering further information, touring the proposed site, or for other such reasons the board may find sufficient. In such case, we shall set a specific reasons for the continuance and set a date, time, and place when the matter will be continued. All official actions of this board will be made at public hearing by a motion made, seconded, and point of the membership. If conditions are imposed, such conditions shall be included in the motion or amended hereto. Our final decision will be prepared in writing and will be part of the public record of the board. Once this board has reached a decision on the case, that decision shall be final. Section 335.18 of the Iowa Code states, any person or persons jointly or severally aggravated by any decision of the Board of Adjustment under the provisions of Chapter 335, or any taxpayer, any officer, department, board, or bureau of the county may present to the court of record a petition duly verified, setting forth that such decision was illegal in whole or in part, specifying the grounds of legality. Such petition shall be presented to the court within 30 days after the filing of the decision of the office of the board. Upon hearing that, I would ask for a motion to open case
I'll make that motion.
-2026-03.
Second it.
So moving second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same, motion carried. Public hearing is now open. Michael Hirsch, if you would come up and kind of tell us what your plans are and what you're looking for.
Sure. Hello, greetings. I'm Dr. Mike Hirsch, H-E-R-S-H. My address is 16906 Sumac Road in Honey Creek, Iowa. It is an industrial zoned area. Why I'm here tonight is there's a structure on the property that has basically reached its age of use. It was built in 1950. My goal is to replace that said structure with a more up-to-date, attractive, code-compliant building. The building that is located there has been there since 1950. Like I said, it's reached its end of its life, and it's limiting my intent use of my property. I restore old cars there, mechanic shop-ish, I guess what you would say. We do a lot of work, body work, things like that in that nature. It's right now it's used for storage and it's just not meeting, like I said, it's limiting my use of the property because it's not very safe. What I'm asking is to replace that structure in the same footprint. So it would leave no impact to the neighboring properties because the building's been there since 1950 already. It doesn't interfere with traffic, drainage, or visibility. If I were to abide by the 50-foot setback lot rule, it would put the building in the middle of the property, which would make it very difficult to use the property. And again, you can kind of see from the pictures there's a lot of cars and things I have to store outside because I don't have the room. And I would like to make move the building towards the inner side of the property, but just starting at the exterior wall. I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I'm saying there. Like I said, it allows me to store more inside, clean up my property. So it looks more professional as fixes. That's my
I
proposal.
was wondering, how did you come like to the size, I guess, because the one you're, is quite
Okay.
bigger than the.
Yes. And that's actually, since then, I had purchased this building of that size. So that was I was applying for. But that kind of fell through. So I don't have that building to my access anymore. So I don't have the exact dimensions, but I was thinking something a lot smaller than that.
Do you think more like the size of the existing building or?
Yeah, maybe 10 foot longer. It's 75 feet long. So maybe we went to 85 by 50 instead of, I think I have on there 150.
60 by 150.
Yeah, nowhere near that big.
Where's the septic?
It would be on the, here.
So those are the laterals.
Those are the
Two
laterals.
laterals.
I would be going just like over here.
And this house,
That's a 2-room schoolhouse. That's the original Honey Creek Schoolhouse.
So no one actually lives at the property?
No one lives at the property, no. Can't live industrial, right? And so we use that for storage, and I don't want to tear down that building because it does have some history in the property. So
sure, it's cute.
it's great. It still has the chalkboards in it.
Oh,
And people stop all the time because they went to school there and they want to tour it still. So
What's the original building size then? Like
it's 40 by 75.
could you make a building that complied with the ruling about how close it can be to the other building? Which seems to me like a big issue.
Yeah,
You gotta have,
really tight. Yeah. So that's kind of the issue we're struggling with.
The one you had drawn, you said, what was the dimension again? I think you wrote it down, but I didn't.
A 60 by 150.
Okay, and you'd be reducing the 60 foot as well, or just the 150?
Yeah, both. Be 50 foot from the existing, or 50 foot from the back of the property. So it'd be 10 foot towards the center of the property and only like 10 foot past.
So that reduces your depth between buildings by reducing your building width from,
Yeah, and I think that still stays within the 10 feet between the buildings.
that's kind of where I was going
Yeah.
with it, is if you're reducing that width of the building, if you're then getting enough space between the two buildings.
you understand what he's asking there? Is that, will you have more than 10 feet between the two buildings if you make?
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
Yeah.
back to original size?
Yeah, it'd be like 14 feet.
Okay.
The code requirement would be eight feet between buildings.
So there should be more than enough there.
well. Fixes several issues.
Right, it does, actually, because then I would have to redo like some water problems with the drainage, but with not doing that, I don't have to do that.
I guess we're, I guess I would kind of like to know, I guess, what size do you think a building you're gonna put up there? Do you have just for you make a decision there? That
Like 50 by 85
okay.
is what it would be.
You didn't submit that.
No, I didn't. That kind of just happened this last week on me, so the deal fell through, unfortunately. But actually, it's kind of better for us because I don't have to build such a large structure.
And you'll be starting, just for my basics, so on the, should be the west side, you'll be going farther east.
Farther east, 10 foot east of the existing structure that's
Right.
there.
Okay.
So that's like a 75-foot building, so it'll be 85, and then 10 foot towards the other, you can kind of see where the other buildings are.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Okay.
Concerns, moans,
Right.
groans, anything?
What's that?
Concerns, moans, groans, anything?
All right.
Oh, well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. This time, is there anybody who'd like to speak in favor?
In favor?
All right, come up to the podium, state your name, please. Yes.
Oh, this would be. Better give a good one.
What is it?
Your name and address.
Dina Bryan. Address is, Omaha, Nebraska. 10603 Curtis Avenue,
Could you speak up a little?
Omaha, Nebraska. Last name is Bryan, Brian. And I am in favor because it would absolutely clean up the property. A lot right now, all those cars that are waiting, they're kind of cluttering up the visible, attributes of the property. Because like you said, that there's a lot of people that stop just to see the two-room schoolhouse. It would be nice to make it nice for people to stop and see that and be able to take all those old car bodies that are waiting instead of rotting into the ground, put them into a building where they're protected and clean up the property. So, I'm in favor.
All right. All right, thank you.
Done, thank you.
Anybody else in favor? Anybody opposed? Anybody opposed? Nobody opposed? At that point, I guess I would ask if you want to make a final comment, or you don't have to, but you're welcome to. Okay, all right. Then I'd ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Moved in second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, public hearing is closed. Recommendation from staff?
I just want to kind of reiterate a little bit on there, the request on here is for that, what would be the north property boundary. And which is on the site review section of your staff report. So we're really looking up at the north property boundary. The current structure that sits there now is a legal non-conforming structure, which predated whenever the ordinance and things were put into place, right? But we have a whole section in the zoning ordinance that covers non-conforming structures and how if anything were to happen to them and or if they were going to be replaced like this, then you have to move it back to what the setbacks would be for that current zoning district of what it is. And being that that area north of there is an A district, then that means that that building would then move to a 50-foot setback on that, from that sideline and an interior sideline. So in order to put it back where it would be, then it's a 45-foot setback variance that the board would be asked to be considering on that. And so we don't have anything historically that would allow us to support a variance of that size. So our recommendation on it would have to be to deny the application as it is given to the board for that 45-foot setback variance, because we're looking at the non-conforming aspect of it. And then if we were to put something new back in there, then we're going to be putting in a new non-conforming structure that's even bigger than the non-conforming structure that is there now. So it's kind of two sides of the code, both arguing against that aspect of it.
That's what I didn't know, man. I'm not the, being that it is zone kind of commercial. If it was zone commercial on the north side, would that make any difference or is that?
It would make a difference,
Okay, that's what I
yes. So if it was industrial on the other side of it, then I believe it'd be 10-foot setback on there. So even though there's, I mean, it's just currently ag land right now. I think it's A4 Les Hills zoned in that area now. I think that 50-foot setback from that area is meant to, if somebody were to come in there and construct a home, to provide that buffering aspect of it, you know, because it is, it's I-1 zoned. There's no conditions on that I-1 zone. It is just flat out. So if you look at the whole list of I-1 zones or what you can do in an I-1 zone, if he were to ever sell the property, then it's not car repair anymore. It could be, you know, sandblasting operator, or who knows what it could be as far as what somebody wants to move in there. So it's all about just being able to help mitigate those two land uses as they come together.
Okay.
How do you feel about the different size building? It doesn't change the setback. It does change the other issue, and
Having a different size, you know, would be all for a different size building on there, larger, small, you know, either or. I mean, I understand, you know, and that is the hard part of it, right? You have a or you have a business owner who wants to try to expand and clean up their property and do things the right way. And just how do we have those two things come together?
Can you change the zoning?
I don't know if that helps.
well,
Change the zoning? Can he do that?
Even changing the zone, I mean, there's not you'd have to do the neighbor's property would have to be modified in zoning to go to a 10-foot setback then on there.
The adjoining property owners, like agriculture included, got a notice that we were having a hearing today, right?
question.
They did.
Okay.
And so before you came in, Pam had received one phone call from a neighbor to this property. I had a neighbor who came in and spoke to me about what was going on. And that neighbor had said, you know, that they thought they were gonna come speak in favor of it, but.
But no complaints.
No, the phone call I got, she was just confused and I clarified what was happening. She was fine. It wasn't a complaint.
So one of the things that I'm thinking through is a year ago, I would have said probably a hard no. Last year, the state put out a practical difficulties wording on dimension variances. And to me, this fits within that. That's just my opinion. But I want to see if you guys knew anything about that practical difficulty wording change or had any thoughts on it.
We did talk a lot, but the state did change that to where it went from hardship to the practical difficulty aspect of it. And there's still not a whole lot of case law on there, what goes to it. I can see what you mean about what that would be like on there.
My other thought is that if I make a motion either way, well, I guess if it was a motion to approve, I would want to have a building size more defined than approving it as it sits right now. And I don't know how to quantify that without knowing what size building they're looking at or where it would sit on the property.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I kind of exactly where it was, what would be.
Which doesn't change the issue. The side setback, it would still be the same.
Right.
It changes the issue of being too close to buildings.
It's not to say that you all, as a board, have never, coming to side yard setbacks. This board has in the past granted side yard setback variances to there. I would just say I haven't seen one as large from what the request is, from the 50-foot down to a 5-foot. I mean, that is a large set. I mean, it's even if you were eye to eye, right? You're 10 foot to your side yard, not 5. The only area that we have that would be this close of a setback would be is in the residential districts, where if you construct a garage behind the back line of your house, you can go 4 to your sideline, 4 to your rear line. But in commercial and industrial, none of them have anything under that, what would be 10.
Yeah.
Which in your exact scenario causes the problem. If it changes to something else and if somebody wants to build a house next door, although that property's pretty big.
If it's denied, can it be resubmitted with a different building size and a different setback proposal? Or once it's killed, is it just done?
Remember, we had that.
Yeah, I almost feel like, can we table it
That would be more,
for more information? Some facts have changed. Is that a possibility? I mean, is that something that you would be willing to do?
that seems like the way,
Reasonable to do.
Because what was the request on, was the garage one?
Green,
He submitted, it was denied,
we reapplied though.
he reapplied, but with the same or
We
different,
went less.
what less?
I mean, requested less of a variance
The second time around.
the second time.
So yes,
he still has to submit a different proposal, so to table it probably doesn't do any good.
Unless it could be amended and save him the application fee or process. And I don't know if we have that capability to amend the request or not, but.
well, the facts that I mean, we weren't aware of the building size change until just now when he came up and talked about it. And
So do we table it or deny it? And he has to reapply, or we table it and he submits a new? That's the question.
I got the code section up right now. Give me just a minute. Because it does speak to,
Like it can't go over, but it can go less. If you're asking for less of a variance, I think you can do it, but I do not have the code in front of me, so.
It feels like a different request to me,
Yeah.
The point would be to keep somebody from giving the same request over and over, and it feels different,
Absolutely.
so it feels like it should be able to be done, but.
I don't know if I can talk at this time.
No,
Okay, that's just.
The code I memorized. Problem that I'm more worried about is the public hearing notice.
yeah, that part's been closed.
True.
The board may recess the hearing in order to serve further notice on property owners, maybe interest.
Or to obtain additional information.
Right.
Yeah, so I think we'd be okay there.
Even if it's just, for the public hearing, that the property owner has decided to change the building size. And the offer, or the further additional information that is requested is what is the site plan for that building size?
So I would say that yes, because you have the right to table the issue to obtain additional information on the request.
Okay.
So I make a motion to table this till the next meeting.
What information would you like us to gather
Well,
for that?
I'm assuming a new site plan?
yes, that's what I was thinking.
New site plan with the confirmed building size?
Building size, yeah.
Dimensions and location on the site and dimensions against other buildings.
Second it.
Are you still writing that, or are you?
I'm good.
Good, move in second, roll call vote.
Herder,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes,
Kai,
Yes.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Good.
So the application has been tabled, and then I'll have to get to you guys to get more information on the exact location of building and
So I'll give you, I can call you tomorrow and go over some things. That sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay.
all right, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Be a little clearer next.
like I'm going to one more meeting.
Next up, I would ask for a motion to open the public hearing on case ZB 2026-04.
Make the motion.
Second,
Moving second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do the same, motion carried, public hearing is now open. Kevin Matalka, if you'd like to come up and tell us what you have planned.
Kevin Matulka, Matulka, 27066 270th Street, Underwood, Iowa. Maybe
Yep.
maybe I did some overkill here. I don't know.
we love overkill.
I don't really know what, sure.
Yep, it's
One for the right.
No, it's just,
I think good.
initial, what's that? 28 years ago, I never really would have thought about putting in a pool. And when I laid out the house, if you wanted to refer to the big picture, I guess I've got some dimensions and stuff on that. But, so the last couple of years, the wife has kind of been wanting a pool. And, so that's where we're headed here. It's a steel side, 15 by 30 with a 10-foot wide deck, 20-foot long next to it. Where I'm kind of having a problem here is that I don't have enough setback on that side road. The north side of the property is the septic laterals and the septic tank and transfer box. The west side of the property is 2 terraces and it's about a 16% slope with that, you see that waterway drawn at the bottom of that. And then I have the fenced yard and then the pool and the deck would go right alongside of that. On the back, there's just a little outline of the scale drawing of the pool and the deck. I really didn't know, there's a set of pictures, just kind of give a little bit of the house layout and show you that terrace and some of that right in front of the little house pictures. And then I didn't know really what to prepare, so I went off of the guidelines and I just kind of addressed each guideline. What I thought, or I mean, what do I need to read? I mean, I can read through them real quick, I guess, but the 3 big ones I remember talking about was that it's not a convenience, it's not creating a hardship, and it's not devaluing the property. It's a tough spot where else I could put it. I can't put it in front. I can't really put it to the north. And if I put it to the west, that would be a lot of digging and kind of ruin the terracing and the water transfer off there. So going down the hardship, moving trees and trying to put it inside of the fenced back area, 25-year-old trees, et cetera, and the terraces and the water flow would kind of be a problem. Placing the pool, placing the pool in this location really looks like the best spot. Laying out the property, like I said, I never really thought about a pool in there before. See, there's, looking at the distance there, well, I've got 2 rows of spruce trees there, and I think that was talking about, nobody's really, in about 5-6 years, they're 5 foot now, nobody's really gonna see the pool. There's a 7-foot grade ditch down to the road. So it's not like anybody's ever gonna be able to hit the pool or anything like that. D, the pool's only 52 inches high. Oh, that was obstruction of views, and the trees will eventually block it from the road. E, the location is best to not increase hazards to the property. Hazard that I'd be looking at would be water flow off of that hillside. If I put the pool to the west and we ended up with a water flow problem on the big rains, that's fine, if you don't mind me keep talking. The water flow, there's like a channel on that west side of the house that brings the water to the north, to a culvert, and then it brings it around to the roadside, that side road side, and into that ditch. That's why I want to stay away from the west side. Properly installed deck and pool would increase the value of the property, I feel. And the big point is that, like I said, I'm not really a pool person, but if in 10 years, we sold a place or we didn't want it anymore, it'd be easy to get rid of as well, because it's on a flat. You're not disrupting trees, you're not disrupting terraces. And the next person that owns the place doesn't want a pool, or if the pool gets outdated and we don't want to repair it, it's easy to get it out of there, because all you then do is reseed for grass and probably put a little fill on top of it. G, the addition will not create any traffic congestions or hazards on the road. We're older, we plan on swimming, normal, so there won't be any
No kidding,
distractions
isn't it?
from the road, right? H.
You say that now.
We're beyond those days quite a bit. H, it's not really an impairment to any county residents' health, it's a swimming pool. I, pools have become a commonplace. So as far as use, it's not something that's out of the ordinary for a residential lot anymore. You see them all over the place. And then, it's basic residential pool. It's, 52 inches tall, the steel side, liner. It'll have the deck on it, which then that's got a gated, to be able to gate that deck so that nobody can get up to the pool. And then the deck I shrunk down as small as I could, so you have 10 feet, and the 20 feet long is basically it's an oval pool, so that 20 feet is the actual flat side of the pool. Any questions? I know I'm rambling fast, but
Are both those streets gravel?
yes, yeah. The front one, that's, there's one other thing. I never did get a hold of Gary Larson, Gary and Julie, but I did get a hold of Mike and Tammy, and there's a letter in there, I think, that they signed off on, that said they don't have a problem with having a pool over there. The front road is in Oak, I believe. No, the front road might be 270th, and then coming off of the highway is Pin Oak, and it goes into that Y, and there's like a little Y triangle, and I think, I cut that off of the big picture, I guess. And so the main traffic is the frontage of the property. That side road goes up to a T to the west about 1.5 miles. And so it's not really a through road. So
The side where the pool would be.
the side of the
Yeah.
pool, right? And then Gary Larson is right across, well, he's actually just a little bit west and right across from that, where the pool would be. And that ditch is starts down in the corner about 4 feet, and then it goes up to about 16 feet up the hill, as far as the height of the greater ditch.
Kind of a big setback change.
I know it's,
Yeah, it looked like the 75 feet almost, it comes like almost.
it's like a 35, I think, or more, yeah. The variance would be a 35-foot, I think, is what we figured, yeah. And I thought about taking the deck off, but that still wouldn't get me. That would just get me down to a 25-foot variance, and then how do you then you got a ladder going in and out of the pool and that, so I thought, okay, go with. And then the other option was trying to get it, if you look at the overhead picture, I did some measurements, those circles are trees. And, if I pushed it all the way inside the fenced area, which would take away all the backyard there, it's gonna be about 7, 8 feet away from the house on the west side. And then if I went to the other side, then we're interrupting that tree that's kind of right out in the middle. If, if we started from the front of the house fence, that first circle is a tree there, and that kind of and they're finely nice trees too, so my thoughts, I'd want to cut a tree down.
Yeah. A lot of people don't give a lot of thought to drainage when they start thinking about stuff, and
Right.
you have given. a lot
And
of
that,
thought.
yeah, well, it was a big hill before we started, and then it was a lot of dirt work to get that flat. But you don't think of all the other things you might put on that flat down the road, and that's where this, you think, gee, we're quite a ways away from the road. But in reality, then, yeah, when it's a 75-foot setback, yeah, it's not,
Well, and you
Right.
never want to change the natural waterway.
well, and that actually wasn't one. Oh, I mean.
You made that?
We made that. It was a hill from the top all the way down to the road. And so there's probably about, in 1998, it was about $13,000 worth of dirt work. So, I mean, he cut a level pad and then made that first terrace and made the second terrace and then cut the drainage way around it so that everything coming off of that had somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Which was good because a couple of those years we had those 5 and 6 inches rain. We were fine. The water flooded out over to the north and to the southwest or southeast, and we didn't have to worry about anything coming back up into the lawn. So, but like I said, I was trying to get off of the road because that's a rock road. And then at the same time, get as much space on the backside, but there again, you don't really think about that pool. That wasn't really that wasn't in the game plan 28 years ago.
Can't you talk her out of it?
Well, okay, and one more thing.
You might want us to say no.
Last year I bought the darn thing for our anniversary and it's been sitting in the shed ever since, just because thinking, okay, we've got 70 some feet over there. And the neighbor was putting in a building and I didn't even think about it being a road because it's a 4-foot setback property lines and it's, and I did that because I was catching a lot of grief because I was saying, well, we're on a rock road, we're out here in the country, do we really need a pool? And then I finally decided, okay, I'll surprise her on her anniversary. And then I just figured this spring we weren't gonna do anything last fall and, yeah. So now she's wishing that she hadn't been kind of pushing me a little bit, but hindsight's always 20/20, I guess, on that.
What's in here?
Nothing. Oh, hold on.
It's flat ground, but.
That's all just, that actually, it comes out about 20 feet and then it drops off to the road and it's just grass. It's front yard, right? So if you look,
Yeah, it is side.
yeah, that, you see there's a berm there.
Yeah,
At the left edge of that berm is where the slope starts going down to the corner. There's only about a foot on the edge of that berm and then it's about another 16-foot slope going down. And if you go straight, what do you call it, south, I guess, it's kind of on a, not true directions there, but if you go straight south, that's somewhat, you see those 7 little dots there, those are spruce trees.
trees, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? Kevin, I think you're done. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you for hearing it.
Anybody speaking for or against? Like anybody else is here, so at that point, I would ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Moved in second. All opposed, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Public hearing is now closed. We'll hear from staff recommendations.
On, the staff recommendation, it's kind of the same. We'd have to recommend to denial of the application based on as presented. I mean, I did talk to him on the phone beforehand before he applied for it. And, I do think that there's areas on the property that the pool could go, I mean, without being so close in the setback area. I know you might lose a tree and have to do some additional dirt work. But it's available. It's there.
Why does he need approval for something that's not permanent? It's an above-ground pool.
That's my opinion as well, but it's not the way the code's written.
So to give you like above ground pools,
Yeah.
you go to Walmart and you buy one with the inflatable ring on top of it. You should come to us and get a permit to put that up.
The inflatable?
No, I'm not talking about like your little, if it's under 12 inches, right, you don't have to get a permit for it. Anything above that requires a permit for it. Now, if you're under 200 square feet of it, does it, you wouldn't, well, no, I can't say that because we're talking pools, so it's different. So yeah, if it's above 12 inches and you're holding water, you have to get a building permit for us and would have to meet those setbacks.
Share your opinion on that, Karen, but we don't really get to pick that.
No.
How close, if there was not a deck, how much distance would there need to be between the pool structure and the house structure?
8.
8 feet.
Mhm.
And would a person need a variance to put the deck on the side near the road?
Yeah, I mean, your deck is mounted in the ground and things, so it becomes a structure, accessory structure.
Anybody want to make a motion? We all done with discussion?
Why are you pointing at me?
You're the motion guy. I don't like it. But what do? You can't.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve. My reasoning is gonna be the state's practical difficulty thing. I think they set us up with that wording to say yes, and whether that's right or wrong, that's the way that, in my opinion, I read it. So my motion is to approve variance.
Second?
Been moved in second. Roll call vote for that.
Anderson,
Yes.
Herder,
Yes.
Kai,
Yes.
Jenner.
No. So I believe it did pass.
Correct.
3 out of 4. So the application has been accepted. The variance has been accepted.
You can smile.
Is there any other thing, Matt? Do we have any other thing for on the agenda or next week or next month? I mean, or?
Or the one we're coming back.
The table
I
one that
don't
we
have
just did,
any.
Oh, okay.
that'll be,
I don't have any applications yet.
No application.
in case Karen hasn't told you all, she is moving to town, so she'll be leaving us. She'll have to hang on through August now, though.
I will. For the table.
It's been great having Karen on the board, offered a lot. I appreciated that.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks for.
And we do have,
Thank you.
and Angela was here the last meeting. I'm still, even though the state got rid of the gender balance thing, I still think gender balance offers a good variety to the board. And Angela's also a realtor, so female realtor.
Right.
You
Very
good?
good. There's no other business. I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.